Alright, welcome back to another episode of Cameron Reads Comics. I'm Cameron, I'll just read comics. I love them. And today, big day, big review. Deadpool Batman #1 review. The first, hopefully of more to be announced DC Marvel crossovers, but this issue really gave us our money's worth. So I want to talk about obviously the main story, Deadpool Batman #1, but then break down every other crossover that's like in this issue because some are really fun. I think some deserve to be talked about more than others. So let's just hop right into it. Deadpool Batman, written by Zeb Wells, art by Greg Capullo. No context, you don't need any context going into this. Just pick up the issue and just run with it. So Deadpool breaks into Bruce Wayne's Wayne Manor, and we don't know how or why he's there, for what reasons. Okay, I'm not here to kill Bruce Wayne, but you're a billionaire and I want you to hire me to be an assassin because I need some money. Whatever. You're a billionaire, you know? And Bruce Wayne's obviously having none of it. And very stern. Zeb Wells. It's interesting to like read how a Marvel writer, a current Marvel writer, would write Batman if he had the reins, which is like kind of cool. So listen, like watching Zeb Wells do that is like Bruce Wayne is stern and Batman is stern. It's kind of like grouchy. Deadpool is obviously just the most, and he's like super. He's just coming in as the most. Basically, and then he's like, okay, well, if you're not gonna hire me, Batman's like, Bruce Wayne's like, I'm not that kind of millionaire. If you're not gonna hire me, then I'm gonna go find Batman, because I gotta go take that guy out. Bat signal comes on, Deadpool follows that, Bruce Wayne comes in and follows Deadpool. Bruce Wayne is working on basically like Joker trying to like ruin Gotham via Joker toxin, and then Deadpool comes along for the ride. And that's all. That's a lot of the plot, and that's the most of what's happening. I guess when it comes to that story in particular, like here are my main thoughts. It was fine. It was just like, okay, let's get the murderer's row of Batman talent. Let's hit all the beats, which is good. And when you want to do this, it's like, yeah, this is such a great issue to bring in like so many new fans, and I get that, but I kind of wanted like some more in the weeds. I heard a Seth Rogen quote recently that like him talking about Superbad, and it really stuck with me, which is talking about how, you know, you bring them in with the plot, but then you keep them there with character. And I just didn't think the characters were really super fleshed out in this one. But there was a good Batman moment of him talking to Joker about why he likes Deadpool, and I needed that. And I think that was probably my favorite part of this whole story. But I just felt like there was so much plot happening. I was like, yeah, we're gonna go do this. No, we're gonna go do this. And Greg Capullo, great Batman artist. But I didn't love how this one was colored. And that's no knock on Alex Sinclair. But when I go read his other Batman work, I'm like, oh yeah, that is him and Scott Snyder, FCO Placentia, Jonathan Glapion. That team doing Batman, I think I would prefer to be on this. I know that there's some drama between Greg and the colorist. Whatever, dude. I was like, I kind of wanted a different color palette for this book. Otherwise, like, the story was great. It was just fine, you know? I think if I wasn't, like, so in the weeds and I was just hopping in and this was the story, it's exactly what I'd want it to be. I kind of, you know, everyone has, like, the imagination to make this be something huge. And I think the theme I realized for this issue is like, for every creator, there's so much enthusiasm and there's so much excitement. There's no lack of excitement and like eagerness in every single story, which you want in a crossover like this. We're eager, they're eager, like let's get in the sandbox, you know? But for this one, I was like, it was fine. It was like, whatever. I give this story a 6.8 out of 10. It was just fine. For the next crossover in this whole like issue, Captain America and Wonder Woman by Rachel and Terry Dodson and Captain America, or by Rachel and Terry Dodson and Chip Zdarsky. This one was kind of interesting, and I was like, I'd love to explore this world a little bit more. A story about Wonder Woman and Captain America and how the symbols that they stand for, those characters would reflect on one another's moral compass. And I'm glad that we have a Captain America Wonder Woman book, because I just think that those are two characters that should interact more together. So yeah, I really freaking liked it. It was good, but it was like really big ideas crammed into like 5 pages. So I'm like, okay, wait, what's happening? What's going on in this universe? How, you know, you want to piece together how everything happened, and it's just kind of like, what if these worlds were already together? And go from there. So Yeah, it was good, and Rachel and Terry Dodson's art is incredible. I freaking loved, I loved it. It's good. And I like Captain America. It was also like World War II. I think Chip is really into Captain America, like when he was coming out of the, like when he's coming out of the ice, and like World War II Captain America, or prior to that, like OG, the principle of Captain America in his creation. So that's really cool to see in this story. And I like how he writes Wonder Woman, so I was just a fan. Okay, next up is Jeff the Land Shark and Krypto. That's written by Kelly Thompson with art by Gurihiru. I'm looking at the legend right now. That's why. The table of contents. This one was really good, but it was like really simple. I read it in like 2 seconds just because it's non-vocal story. It's just like Krypto and Jeff. Like what they would do as being two pets. I don't want to spoil it because there's one action in basically the entire story, so use your imagination or just go pick this up. Thought it was good, you know, thought it was cool, but it was just quick. I was like, okay, well, that was that. Next up is actually, I'm gonna declare it now, my favorite of the entire crossovers. I think they were so flippin' good. Daredevil and Green Arrow by Kevin Smith and Adam Kubert. This story is so flippin' good. It was everything I needed. And this is what I talk about with character, what I talk about with Oliver Queen finds himself in Hell's Kitchen, and Daredevil seems to be fighting the League of Shadows. Oliver Queen seems to be fighting the Hand, and they don't realize it, but then they bump into each other. Green Arrow, Daredevil. There's a villain. I don't want to spoil it. There's a villain that they run into, like another one is like, is the reason they're all together. The villain they run into, and it just really messes with Daredevil, and he's a Green Arrow villain, and I loved it. Like, I'm just like, Kevin Smith, and I just read his Daredevil run, so go check that out. Kevin Smith is so freaking good at like figuring out, like pairing villains with heroes. And I mean in the terms of Mysterio versus Daredevil. This one is now like, okay, what Green Arrow villain would really mess up Daredevil? Boom, and it's great. It's really great. And then there's a moment at the end. They find themselves at Fogwell's gym, and Green Arrow is able to save Daredevil in just the most like perfect way. It was everything I really wanted this story to be. I thought like it hit on all cylinders, and I'm actually so glad I got the variant cover for this one because Daredevil, Green Arrow by Kevin Smith. Two characters that he's written really well. It was awesome. It was just flippin' awesome, and if I had 22 pages, I would have given this entire story to this. It was too short. I loved it. And like, he nails it. Like, there's a moment when they are both falling from like an edge, and Daredevil, like, luckily his billy club reaches over like on some gargoyle and catches him from falling. And he says, "Lucky devil." And then there's another one where Green Arrow, like, hits, you know, they're going this way. Green Arrow hits a gargoyle with his arrow, and he just says, "I'm so good." Because Ollie's so like brash and proud. Loved it. It was perfect. It's like perfect. Again, that was the one where it's like they bring you in with plot, but character keeps you there. Next up, Rocket Raccoon, Green Lantern by Al Ewing and Dyke Ruan. Incredible. That one was good. That one is like Al Ewing. He's just throwing the baby out with the bathwater. He's just like so excited. He's like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna team Rocket Raccoon up with Green Arrow, and then they're gonna do all this debaucherous stuff in the name of social justice across the galaxy. And that one was really fun, especially because it has the Guardians, it has Nova, it has the Green Lantern Corps, and then they do a really fun twist on Parallax at the end. So that one's just a romp, a crazy romp, and it's like all the things I feel like it was Al Ewing doing all the things he would want to do with that book, but like did not have the span to do. It's like, okay, so they're just gonna do all of them in a big fun montage, and it was cool. I really like that one. Okay, then there's Old Man Logan and Batman The Dark Knight Returns crossover, written and drawn by Frank Miller. Just wow. Frank Miller. That one, I was like, what the heck is happening here? It's the most Frank Miller thing you've ever read. Like, I also just like, it kind of like proved to me, I'm like, I don't think Frank Miller's read any Old Man Logan at all. And he's just like, okay, Wolverine from Chris Claremont in my run, that's the guy. I'm like, okay. And then he just goes for it, and I'm like, oh my, I'm gonna cry. I thought it was so like, it's funny. Like, it wasn't even, it was wild. I wouldn't say it was bad. It was like 5 pages. Whatever, dude. You know, there's no rules. And so he's like, okay, Batman and Wolverine, here's what's happening. So it's like fully Dark Knight Returns Batman, and then it's just like, definitely not Old Man Logan, but Frank Miller, like, Wolverine. So it was good. And Frank Miller draws the heck out of it, and it's gorgeous. I actually thought like his new art style lended itself really well to this book, but it is just, that one was wild. Like, that one makes me laugh. And the last one was Logo. Ryan North and Ryan Stegman. This is my second favorite one from this entire series. I'm like crying laughing from the Frank Miller one because it was so funny. Like, I'm like, what the heck is, I'm just like, what the heck is going on in this book? Logo, I don't know what the name Logo means. I know how one of the characters is. This is a crossover character that Ryan North, it's an amalgam character that Ryan North and Ryan Stegman made. This is literally just one of the most fun stories in the whole thing. I'm like, again, there's no lack of enthusiasm in all of this. You just know that Ryan North, like, he takes a bit and then he'll just go off with it. And this is exactly what that book was. So really, really good. Really fun. Like, oh my gosh, give Logo an ongoing series. Like, there'd be no shortage of fun that is had with it. And it's cool to see like Ryan Stegman poke around at it, but that one was awesome. So, okay, that's what I feel about Deadpool Batman #1. Now soon to come out is Batman Deadpool #1. I have no idea what crossovers are happening in there. So, we'll see. I'm just going along for the ride. Like, I'm just like, okay, we'll see what happens. But yeah, so far, first DC Marvel crossover in a long time. Batman Deadpool, or Deadpool Batman by Zeb Wells, Greg Capullo, and then so many backups by so many others. Necessary reading if you're a comic book fan. Just go check it out. Super fun, super easy to get into, and no shortage of enthusiasm and eagerness. So the excitement is palpable. I'm Cameron. I just read comics. I love them. I'll see you guys next time.